Hi everyone, my name is Samaya Ahmed and I am the Virtual Content Specialist for 7th grade Science. This is part 2 of the video on Nearpod. In part 1, I discussed an overview of the platform and its general features. In this video, I will review how to make your own lesson on Nearpod. So when you first log on to Nearpod, I'm already logged on. I have a school account, so I have access to all of the resources and I can make unlimited Nearpods. So when you log on to Nearpod, you will have this tab where it says Create. And that will give you 3 options. You can create a lesson with a combination of interactive content, media, and activities. You can create a video where you can embed questions as you watch it or create a lesson on Google Slides. So first, let's go over how to create a basic lesson on Nearpod. So I just clicked Create a Lesson. And you can name it. So after you name it, you can click on the plus sign, and this is how you start building up your interactive lesson. So where it says add content and activities, you can click that, and here are all the options. So it brings you here where you can choose from a variety of content. So these are all the options for content, and these are all the options for activities, which you can embed in this Nearpod. Now let's look at our first options for content. You can add a video. So if you click on video, again, you can search, go through their video library, which I don't recommend because there are so many. You need to use the filters here, but even then, if you look at the filters, you can narrow it down by standards as well. It's still a lot of videos to go through unless you specifically add in a standard, then it narrows it down even more. So this is great. You can choose a specific standard from the Next Generation Science standards, and that will narrow down the videos. Or you can just search for a video. And a lot of these videos, let me uncheck this. So a lot of these videos, if you click on it, as you can see, they have questions embedded in them. What? So as you play the video will play and then it will pause, and you can add a question or add an activity, and students will be able to answer the questions as they go. So this is a great feature. Now, if you go back, let's go back to our creating our slides. We have to create it again, unsaved. So we have to go back to our library. Next, you can add a slide, okay? So I didn't click on add the video, or else the video would have been added. You would have seen that there. So you can click a slide, and for this you can add a title. You can choose the theme for the slide. You can change the layout of the slide. Let's look at these options here. You can change the background, you can change the layout, you can add an audio feature, which will be really helpful for students who need the slides read out. You can look at a preview once you finish. You can add texts here, or you can upload a video, upload an image, or a GIF. So a lot of options you can add with your slides. And then you can save this. Click Save and Exit. Click Save. And that gets saved on your climate change Nearpod. Next, you can also click here if you want them to go in order and add content. Next, you have a vocabulary video. So vocabulary videos are fun, catchy musical educational videos with neat animations. So I highly recommend to check them out. I will do another video on that resource, but they are affiliated with Nearpod, so they have all their vocabulary videos embedded here on Nearpod. Next, you can add a 3D image. So if you click 3D image, these are all the images you have here. Great for teaching students about human body systems or cells or microscopic organisms. So if you click on the animal cell, click done, you can see that the animal cell 3D gets added in here. And you can look at a preview. And this is great because students can look at the 3D image of it and look at all different aspects of this 3D image. And then let's go back to add content. Next, you can add a Addphet Simulation, which are science simulations, and you can choose the category and preview it before finalizing it. Next, we have this virtual field trip option, which students enjoy because you can take them to so many interesting locations around the world. You can narrow down your search, or let's say if you want them to notice landforms, you could take them to Machu Picchu, click done. You could preview it as well. So if you click on the preview, as you can see, this is the virtual field trip that they can take. Next, you can add a Desmos, which is a graphing calculator. It's a digital graphing calculator tool, which is great for math. You can add a BBC video. So if you click add BBC video, again, they have all these here. And then if you click on environment and living species, they have certain videos. If you just click done, then it gets embedded. I would highly recommend just watching the video, looking to see if it aligns with your lesson before adding it to the Nearpod. Next, if you go back to content, there is a sway option. So this is a Microsoft version of a presentation. You can also create your own and customize it, so that's great. You can upload your own slideshow here. You can upload an audio file, and you can upload a PDF viewer or a web content. So if you click on web content, you can just copy and paste the link. So let's say you found an article on another website, you can copy and paste a link here, and then once students get to that Nearpod slide, they will automatically go to that link. So again, these are all the content options. So remember, we have two options. We have content and we have activity. So with the content options, you can add them, preview them, delete them as you see fit. So now let's look at the other options for activities. First, we have the time to climb, which is a fun game-based quiz where you can add your own questions and it's timed and it shows the winners at the end. You can add an open-ended question, which is great, where you can add reference images. So I could show you. So you can add a timer to give students a timer. You can add a reference image or audio, so you could use the audio recorder to read out the question. You can add a PDF for students to refer to as they're answering the question. You can add a video for them to refer to, an audio file, or a web content, or even an image, which is very helpful to spark student thinking. I usually use a lot of images when I am giving students an open-ended question, just so they can refer to it as they're answering. And then if you click save, it gets saved. Now let's go back. Then our next option is matching pairs. And they have pre-made matching pairs, such as if you look at the water cycle one. So basically, it's a good vocabulary activity, so they have to match the word with the definition, or you can create your own. Next, you can also add a quiz, and you can add multiple choice questions, true or false. You can add a Flipgrid. I have another video on Flipgrid, which is a video discussion tool, and students can connect with that Flipgrid platform. You can add a draw it. So this is great for students who like to draw out their responses. So you put the instructions here. You can upload an image, a background image, or a reference image, and students have the opportunity to draw out their response. Next, we have the Collaborate board, which is an open-ended discussion board where students can post responses and it shows up on a shared discussion board. Then you can add poll questions, which is great, just to get the pulse of the class for quick questions. There's also a fill in the blank feature where you can add sentences and words. So this is a nice feature because you could choose your text style. And then you can type in your sentence here. And then once you type it in, you choose words to add to the bank, and it gets added to the bank, and then that word will be a blank on the student-facing part, so students can add words to the blanks and complete the fill in the blanks. So there's a fill in the blanks that's added. And lastly, the last activity is a memory test, which is right here. So these are just the content and activities available while creating the lesson. Again, there are lessons that are already created, so if you just click save and exit, that gets saved. So then if you click report, again, once you give students the code and they do the Nearpod, now since no one did it, I just created it, it says no data to report. But once you have students complete it, you will see all the responses, all the reports for each of the activities, and like a summary of student responses. So to summarize, Nearpod is a great platform where you can add a wide variety of interactive content or activities to support student learning. Thank you for watching.